Hello everyone. So today we will start with introduction to robust control. So as a control engineer, whenever we will be designing any closed loop feedback control system, so sometimes we call it the system has to be robust. Many a times we call your system design controller design has to be robust. So whenever we talk about robustness property for any controller, so we need to mention about certain parameters, right? So what are those? So before we start with the robustness property, let's just explain this closed loop block diagram. This is a very general feedback control loop, negative feedback control loop, where RT is the input, YT is the output of the system, C is the controller transfer function block, and P is the plant transfer function block, right? So after the plant block, we can see there is a summer point where some kind of VT has been added. So VT is disturbance signal here. VT is disturbance signal here. So many a times while we design any kind of control system, we need to consider disturbance, we need to consider uncertainty, because whenever we mathematically solve any problem, later we simulate them in some kind of simulator and we observe some desired results, and when we implement the same with some kind of real time system, many a times various differentiation in the output can be observed. This is because of real time system is exposed to many kind of undesired things like uncertainty, friction, disturbance, many things which we don't consider in general in the simpler design while we simulate them. So whenever we will be designing any kind of feedback control law, we need to consider model uncertainty, we need to consider uh, you know uh, disturbance in the system, so that we can say by considering those things into our design, if we design a feedback control law, so that will be robust. So that time your controller will provide robust performance for the system. So here the transfer function model has been obtained for the given feedback loop. So here so as we know, in the case of transfer function, system has to be a single input single output system, but here in the feedback loop we can see there are two different inputs. One is RT, which is the desired reference input, and the other one is VT, which is undesired disturbance input. So it is very obvious, while we will be deriving the transfer function, we need to mention whether it is in terms of reference input or it is in terms of disturbance. So let's just calculate the transfer function in terms of RT, which is reference input, and that time you have to make VT equals to 0. Okay, so with that our transfer function will be T equals to C into P divided by 1 plus CP. So CP, that is the transfer function between R and Y. In the similar way, we can obtain the transfer function S, which is denoted with S, which is actually transfer function with respect to V, where we have made RT equals to 0. Okay, so here what we do, two kind of functions we have, two transfer function we have obtained here. So RT, so T is actually known as, the first one is known as tracking problem, and the other one is known as disturbance rejection problem. So in case of control system, these two are very popular kind of control objective. One is tracking, reference tracking, other one is disturbance rejection problem. Now you need to mention what kind of controller you are designing for your system, whether it's a tracking control or it's a disturbance rejection control. So it is very obvious that tracking has to be near about 1. Okay, and in case of disturbance rejection, your S term should be near about 0. Then only your plant model will behave in exactly the way you want. Okay, so with this, with the present of modeling uncertainty and disturbance rejection, if your system attain stability, stability, then we call this problem, this control problem, as robust stability. So whenever you are mentioning your system is robust, or your design controller is a robust controller, then you need to mention whether the system is robust in terms of disturbance rejection, or in terms of attaining robust tracking performance, or it is or your system is attaining robust stability. Okay, so that is about robust controller design. So in this regard, I need to mention loop shaping is one of the very major concern where we need to design control system. Okay, so here j omega is denoting your frequency domain frequency parameters. So if you want to carry out the analysis in frequency domain, then we refer loop shaping kind of problem. Okay, so in case of classical control, we denote the system like this. Okay, where ut is the input, yt is the output, and p0 stands for nominal model. That means nominal model means what? So nominal model means you are not considering any kind of uncertainty. Okay, in or dynamic uncertainty or irregularness, anything you are not considering, you are just considering the simple model. Okay, so that is our nominal model, so that we consider in case of classical control system. But in case of robust control system, because you have to establish the robustness property of your proposed controller in terms of plant uncertainty sometimes, so we obtain uncertain model, we add some uncertainty to the plant. So nominal plant will be considered here, that is p0. With that, you can see some delta amount value has been added, which is termed as plant model uncertainty. Now uncertainty sources can be various. It can be parametric uncertainty, it can be multimodal uncertainty, it can be structured uncertainty, it can be unstructured uncertainty. So that is a different aspect. So in today's discussion session, I'm just trying to give you a glimpse, a basic introduction about robust control. Okay, so what is your robust control objective? So our objective, while we will be as a control engineer, we are contributing something in the design domain, we have to ensure that we need to design a controller which should satisfy stability and performance for a set of models. That means for a set of uncertain models. So whenever you will design a robust controller, it should ensure a desired performance within a certain range. We need to mention within which range of uncertainty your system can handle with the help of proposed controller. Okay, so that is the main control objective, that your controller should ensure robust stability and robust performance within a certain range. Okay, so that was the basic introduction about robust control. Now we have various methodologies to design robust controller, so we will see them in our next lecture sections. Thank you everyone.